Hey guys, Ryan here with the last week of November programming. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys, that I won't see before Thanksgiving, so I will be out of town then, but just pay attention to our Thanksgiving schedule there. No classes on Thursday, and our schedule on Friday is going to be a little bit of bridge. It's going to very much mirror what we do on Saturdays, most likely. And then if classes fill up, we'll make accommodations for that. Don't forget about yoga starting that first Saturday after Thanksgiving as well. I'm super excited about that. 10:15 on Saturdays in Stanton, and still get your classes in, get in the commitment club so you can vote on that terrible workout you're going to force some of the coaches to do. So Monday, floor press. So if you've done our lifting class before, you've probably done this a couple times. We might have done it once before in a CrossFit class, and it's usually very popular. It's like the top half of a bench press. If you've ever been scared to try bench press, this is a great way to start it. It's going to work on that upper body strength, and we're actually going to work on pushing and pulling that day by adding in the ring rows. And then for the workout here, you've got what would normally be a very tough, well, it's going to be a tough workout, but would be a very quick lung burner here with the wall balls and double unders. But you got to have a little strategy with this, because if you have to break up your wall balls or double unders for most of the colors here, you're going to have a penalty of push-ups. And the expectation here is that you will have to do push-ups, which is why at the white and the yellow, we've already gone ahead and programmed those push-ups into those rounds. So you will be breathing here, but you got to be strategic on this to make sure you limit those number of push-ups you're doing, or if you're already got push-ups programmed into the workout there, then you already know you're doing a little bit more work than everybody else. And then for our extra credit that day, we'll talk about rowing, because you got some rowing in a very aerobic intensive workout on Thursday that day. Otherwise, you're doing some jogging to cool down and stretching out those calves and the upper body. Oops, went backwards there. Our commitment class for Monday, 4 static efforts of 45 seconds of work, 45 seconds of rest. Shoulder to shoulder slam ball thrusters, those should be some heavy balls that you're moving there. So you're going to be breathing heavy with those thrusters, but I want you to think about that being very close to also a weightlifting feeling as well. So that 9 on your burn factor is moving that heavy ball and feeling like you did almost your last rep that you could do every 45 seconds. Getting some core work in with the bicycle crunches, a classic bicycle crunch. Rowing for cumulative meters here, so trying to, over the course of 3 minutes of work, get to these pretty challenging goals there as possible, as long as you work those entire 45 seconds all the way to the beep. You got a chance of hitting those goals. And then rope climbs in Fishersville and ring rows with the reach in Stanton. And then we'll work on some shoulder health for our cash out that day. Tuesday's workout in CrossFit is all cardio. It's going to be a longer workout, pushing 30 minutes there. We'll put time cap you at 30 minutes. For most people, there will be a buy-in of a row, and then you want to think about after that row, you still got the majority of the work that you still have to do after that with the runs and the burpee box jumps. So pace yourself to be able to know you're working for 25 to 30 minutes that day. If we've got a full class there, you may be ending on the rows as opposed to starting with it. And then we've got some of those extra credit stuff that people really like to do. Shoulder health with the YTWs, and same with the bottom up pressing, and working on that barbell rows, kind of working on that pulling strength, getting you closer to those pull-ups. And speaking of pull-ups, your skills acceleration will be kipping that day, but actually be working more with toes to bar. But that kip will help with your pull-ups as well. Confidence interval on Tuesday, 3 rounds, 1.5 minutes of work, 30 seconds of rest. No escaping burpee box jumps that day. You're going to do that in CVC as well. And the twist with CVC is those burpees will include a strict push-up. Then you've got some glute work. So you're going to spend 30 seconds doing banded lateral steps, and then you're going to do 30 seconds of glute bridges, and then 30 seconds of a banded forward and back march there. All that's going to be targeting those booties. And then weighted jump rope, get the heart rate up, and the kettlebell rack and overhead hold, you're going to start to feel that burn in the shoulders there. So expect to feel some burn in your butt and your shoulders during this confidence interval that day. And then the core work will be cashed out with the ab mat sit-ups. Wednesday, we're throwing in a little twist into our squats, low bar back squat. So we're used to doing front squats, and we do a little bit of back squatting. We're always talking about keeping that chest tall and hips and shoulders rise at the same time. This is going to break a few of those rules, but it's still going to really work the backside and the lower body strength. You're going to feel this more in your glutes and really emphasize that in your squats with this low bar back squat. So there's going to be a lot of teaching going on that day to get you comfortable with this. For some people, depending on your upper body mobility, you may feel this to be a little bit more uncomfortable, but we'll show you some things you can do to alleviate some of that discomfort. But I think you guys in the end will enjoy this twist on the back squat. And then we've got a lung burner here with kettlebells and toes to bar. So don't be distracted by the toes to bar and the one-arm kettlebell swings here. You're going to feel this in your legs as well with those lunges. So there's no rest in this 14-minute AMRAP. Between the toes to bar, just short sets of those, or the hanging leg raises, and your one-arm swings to your reverse lunges to doing the other side of toes to bar and one-arm swings and reverse lunges. You're going to be continually moving to try to get to those 8 rounds in this. So control your breathing, but keep moving through this one. And then we're just going to stretch out afterwards and get ready for Friday's inversions. Our Wednesday hump day HIIT class, we're going to work on the barbell row in that class. So we've done this before in Stanton in our HIIT classes. Always fun to bring the barbells out there. And then doing some classic CrossFit Tabata training here, weighted planks, air squats, kettlebell swings, and ski ergs. So a Tabata is 8 rounds of 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. So the goal here is to work the entire 20 seconds, take that limited rest, and work the entire 20 seconds again for all 8 rounds at that one movement. You get a minute of rest, and then you're going on to the next movement for 8 more rounds of that Tabata. Depending on the class size, we'll break you guys up because we're going to have you guys in ski ergs there. With the Tabata, you have the chance to lift heavy, like with the kettlebell swings, and try the weighted planks, but keep in mind, though, that only 10 seconds of rest is not like a commitment workout where we normally do 20 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest. So just feeling that 10 seconds of rest means you are going to have to pace yourself a little bit to maintain good quality and work the entire 20 seconds every 8 rounds. So skipping Thursday because that's Thanksgiving. Friday we'll come back and burn off some of that turkey. Practicing handstands and CrossFit, and then we're lifting heavy with deadlifts and challenging ourselves with some ring dip or push-up scaling options that are going to challenge us here. So you're going to have to find the right weight for you if you have the blue and the purple. Otherwise, you got some suggested weights for you there to make those deadlifts challenging. This says 5 sets for time, but I don't want you to worry about the time so much as getting good quality lifts in there. Make those deadlifts look good, make those push-ups look good with this. You're going to get 2 minutes of rest between each round to make sure you can keep that good form with this. And then we're going to be working all those little muscles that we don't get a chance to work out sometimes in the extra credit, and start working towards a hang squat clean for Saturday. So vitality for Friday this week. So that means we didn't get our vitality test in November, which I'm going to program for the very first part of December when we get in there. So you will get that vitality test in. But this is our vitality strength workout. This is kind of the weirdest one we have, where sometimes you're rotating and sometimes you're standing still. If you're standing still, you're lifting heavy with those elevated sumo deadlifts. That's 9 reps every 15 seconds. It's almost like an EMOM, but you only have 50 seconds instead of a minute in between each beat there. The other movements are the ones you're cycling through as you're getting your heart rate up. Lift class. So this past week we're going to have worked on hang squat or squat snatches, and now we're going to work on squat cleans. And we've got all these variations here to get you used to pulling under the bar. We did this about 6 months ago, and people loved this sequence, so we're throwing it back in there. And if you're not doing lift class, you're still going to do some cleans in CrossFit with the hang power clean strength portion here. And that's going to turn into hang squat clean for the thrusters if you can do that, or hang clusters there, which is basically a clean into a thruster. So you're going to have to clean that barbell from the hang position to your shoulders, get through a full squat. The most efficient way to do that would be a hang squat clean, and then drive out of that squat like a thruster. And then you're doing bar facing burpees with that. This is a very intense workout, 4 minutes at a time with a 10-second rest in between and another 4 minutes of work. It's like doing Fran twice. So expect to work hard that Saturday with those 2 4-minute sprints. And then you're still not escaping cleans. Because if you show up at CVC, we're going to do dumbbell hang cleans, and we're going to tax the legs that day by doing jumping lunges or some variation of that. Hollow rocks for the core, and then burn out the triceps with our kettlebell skull crushers. And then we get to slow things down with some crow practice that day. All right. If I don't get to see you guys before Thanksgiving, have a great Thanksgiving, and see you later.